Hello, everybody, and welcome again to another one of our Overland Coffee Talks. Today we'll be talking to Joshua of Terra Overland. So let's get started.
So Terra Overland is a business venture that a buddy and I decided to start out here in Virginia. And you can see the Jeep behind me and also on the screen. We are renting Overland vehicles. And we rent it how you see it, decked out to the nines. And we even plan expeditions based around the things you enjoy doing. And you can upgrade, downgrade, you can do it however you want to do. As long as you can afford it, right? But it's not limited based on distance. We limit based on time. So however long you want to rent it, you can go wherever you want to go.
That's really awesome. How long have you guys been doing that?
So we just started the business a few months ago. We built Alpha One in time for Expo East so that we could debut at Expo East. Our booking is going live on Cyber Monday.
Awesome.
So we have a trial rental that we hooked up with somebody who wants to rent it for Black Friday weekend, and to get all his feedback and to test the system out. But I mean, I've spent time in it. I've driven it and wheeled it, and this thing is sick.
Awesome. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what's been done to the Jeep?
Yeah, so it's a 2014 JKU Rubicon. It's locked front and rear. It's got 513 gears on 37s. It's supercharged, fully trussed axles, chromoly shafts. I mean, sliders like you can see in the picture and everything. We had the Overland Vehicle Systems tent on it. We didn't really like how tall it was with that style tent, so we switched it over to the hard shell CVT to go with it. And it's got the 180 Overland Vehicle Systems awning on the passenger side. We got a dirt box system in the back with Snowmaster fridge, full 120 amp hour lithium battery built into the back with solar and all that. So I mean, this thing's got more lights on it than a disco. So
Perfect. Looks amazing.
Yeah.
That's really awesome. Where's the solar mounted?
To the top of the mount hood, the tent.
So much jealousy there. That's what,
Nice.
with like that OVS that we've got pictured. That's what I have on. I have a similar one on my trailer, and it's a Thule one. And that's the issue right there, that you can't mount things to it, and it sucks.
Yeah, so that's why we switched to the hard shell, because even on the mount hood, it's got racks on it. So, if a customer wants to bring a kayak or something like that, it gives them the opportunity to put something on top and enjoy the adventure even more.
That's so awesome. Yeah, no, I'm definitely, I have 2 rooftop tents right now, and I would drop both of them if I could get one of those slimline ones. I love them. They're awesome.
Well, we sell them.
Hey, there you go.
Hey, uh-oh.
Yeah, we do sell CVT, and we sell for Overland Vehicle Systems. We're a retailer for them also. And like Renogy, we can get Renogy stuff, and I mean, anything that's all on the truck, we can sell you.
I've got an OVS drawer system that I just installed, actually.
Oh, nice.
It's pretty sweet. I'll be reviewing it after I finish doing the install. It's not
nice.
super clean right now, but yeah. No, do you guys have they? I know OVS announced a bunch of stuff at SEMA. Have you guys had any access to that stuff yet, or is it still kind of pending?
Man, we tried to talk to OVS about getting their new hard shell clamp, the clam style one, just like the mount hood. And I mean, they were holding on to that thing tight. They would not send us one before they'd send it to everybody else. So we went with the CVT because, CVT is a tried and true known brand. And we knew the quality was going to be great because we're not trying to like skimp on anybody when they rent. So I'm personally going to get one of the Overland Vehicle Systems hard shells so that I can try it out first before it's a new thing. So I don't want to just slap something new onto the truck and then customers be like, man, this thing gave out or something, I'm not thinking it's going to, but we just got to make sure.
It's that
Right on.
trust but verify kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, I'm really excited. So definitely when you get one, let me know. I'd love to hear your feedback because I'm dying to get one, and it will be pretty much between that and the CVT for me because those are that if I could find a Go Fast ultralight, I would, but you can't find those things. Those are unobtainium.
Well, I looked at those. I wasn't a huge fan. To me, to get to the size that those are, I feel like it's not gonna withstand some of the trauma that I put this stuff through. My last tent on my 4Runner slid up against the side of a tree, because I got down into a drop, and the only thing that caught me on the tree was the tent. So you know what I mean? So I'm kind of weary on something that's that's thin,
That's a pucker factor right there.
Certainly.
Well, why don't you tell us about, now that you've talked about Terra Overland, we'll have to make sure we get contact info for you so we can post it. But
so what I was going to say is, man, if you do want to, when I get the OVS stuff, man, all you got to do is fly out. I got a way you can try it out. I could set both of y'all up on a trip. We can go on a trip. We just bought our second Jeep yesterday. So I'll have that here this weekend, building it out, putting everything on it. And our third one will be here. I think it's the second week of December or first week of December. So as soon as I get them all built, I'll have plenty for y'all to come drive.
Yeah, I've still got to go do that drive. I cannot remember what it's called. There's that drive in Virginia out by the George Washington National Forest. It's like a 40-mile road, that Skyline Drive.
Okay.
I got to get out and do Skyline Drive, and then I want to do a little bit off-roading with somebody else because I don't know, when I was living out in Virginia, I had trouble finding places to go, air quotes, off-roading, right? There was designated campgrounds, but what do you do for getting into off-roading over in Virginia?
Man, that's what we do. That's what we're here for. I mean, look into the MABDR, the Mid-Atlantic BDR. That's the back road discovery route. That's on and off road. And other than that, you just get on Gaia and we just explore, man. If it looks like a track on Gaia, we hit it and see where it goes to, If it doesn't have a sign or a gate, it's free game until somebody says otherwise.
I like that. I like that method. That's a good one.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of our stuff, we do end up over in West Virginia and stuff like that, doing the Canaan Loop, or one of our favorite things is the Daniel Boone Backcountry Byway in Kentucky, stuff like that. But with our base camp for Terra Overland, we're on the western side of Virginia, so it's a matter of an hour and you can be in West Virginia doing whatever you need to do.
Yeah, there's tons of beautiful country out there. I mean, I was going out every chance I could because I was working in DC, and
Oof.
that's the best part of being out over there is it's like, well, it's the weekend, I don't have anything to do, let me go hit the forest. So lots of beautiful places to see, but I wish I could have hooked up with a place like you guys back then, because when you're new to a place, not having access to the tribal knowledge of the area, you don't know where to go. So
yeah, well, and we also, you don't have to rent a Jeep only from us. If we get contacted by somebody who just wants us to, hey, I've never been to the area. Where's the places to go, man? This is what we love to do. We love to have conversations about this stuff. And the whole point in this was to get people into the industry and into the sport, I guess, of overlanding. And, so we love having conversations about this stuff and going out on our weekends and doing it and having people come with us even, just to make friends and enjoy.
That's awesome. Well, I've definitely got a bunch of friends who all do tours through there, so I'll make sure to push them in your way.
There
Let
we
them
go.
know to hit you guys up.
Heck yeah.
Especially because they do fly out there. They fly out there and then they don't have a vehicle. So I've got 2 buddies in mind that I'm like, all right, I'm going to send your contact info.
Yeah. So if they fly into something like Charlottesville, we'll even bring the Jeep to the airport and like hand them the keys kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's, we try to make it as easy as possible.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's definitely the best type of
Sounds
vehicle
great.
rental to do.
Well, the way I put it is it's like it's a rental vehicle and a hotel room all in one, right? So you don't have to get a hotel. You can stay in the Jeep or on the Jeep, I guess.
That's awesome.
We were
right.
calling it Trail B&B is what and that's what
good.
that's our Instagram handle actually is Trail B&B.
Right
So
on.
Nice.
Very cool.
Yeah, that deserves to be an Instagram or a hashtag or something.
yeah,
That's
exactly.
you guys got to trademark that one fast, right?
I think it's actually in the process of being done. So
There you go. There you go.
That's awesome. Well, it's really cool to learn about Terra Overland. Josh, why don't you tell us a little bit more about yourself? What was your first vehicle that you drove?
So the first vehicle I legally drove on the road was a 1989 Jeep Cherokee.
I like
A lot like the one on screen, not quite.
Not the same.
Yeah, mine was a little bigger and a little more beat up. That one's actually pretty clean with some straight lines on it.
That's awesome.
That's a rare thing.
But I bought it for, I think it was $300.
Wow.
Yeah. Lifted it, put tires on it, and then just went, man, and tore it up. Went out to George Washington National Forest a lot, all that. Then the unfortunate demise for my Jeep was, I was young. I plugged in some things that shouldn't have been plugged in and backfed the wiring harness and actually started a fire under the hood. So, sitting at a stoplight and luckily a citizen stopped and put the fire out, hopped in his truck and left. Didn't even get his name, anything like that. And
that's awesome.
Yeah,
wow.
So that was and actually that Jeep, I fixed the wiring harness and sold it for $600. And I think the last time I checked in with the guy was like 4 or 5 years ago, and he was still driving it.
Wow.
And it had like 600 something thousand miles on it at that point.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that's awesome. Lesson learned there, children, is always fuse at the engine block. Whatever you're gonna put in, make sure you fuse it at the engine block.
Well, and make sure you know where the other end of the wire is when you plug it in.
Yeah, absolutely.
And carry a fire extinguisher.
Yes. After
more
that,
than one vehicle fire. Yeah.
Oh yeah. After that, I've had a fire extinguisher in every vehicle I've owned since. So I've still been trying to find. I mean, to this day, I'd still love to meet the guy who saved that one, and give him a new fire extinguisher.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
So
right on. Well, that brings us over to your next, or not next, but current ride.
Yes.
Why don't you tell us about that?
Yeah, man. So that's my 2016 Toyota 4Runner Trail Edition. I had to go with the Trail because it's got the manual 4-wheel drive as opposed to the electronic. I've got a Toy Tech lift in the front and Dobinson long travel coils in the rear. In that picture, I'm on 34s. I was on 35s, but I went down to the 34s because I got a really good deal on those Maxxis razors. Those tires have been amazing. I put the 4x Innovations weldable, like weld kit sliders on it. And it's actually, if you can see on the front, it's got the CBI hidden winch mount that actually goes behind the stock bumper. And
Yeah, I was
that
gonna
actually,
ask about that. Yeah.
yeah, that thing
Very,
actually
very
saved,
clean.
it actually saved my truck from being totaled about 8 months ago because a woman ran a red light and she was going about 65 and took off the front clip. And the only thing that bent was that mount. That mount bent just a touch, but it kept the frame straight. And so CBI sent me another one. Obviously the insurance paid for it, but CBI sent me another one and they did it quick too. They
That's awesome.
I called CBI. I was like, hey guys, I'm supposed to be going on a trip. This woman totaled my truck. It's at the body shop. I need another winch mount so that I can go on this trip. And I actually even talked to what is his name? It's the guy you see in all their videos. I talked to him and he was like, it's right here. He's like, I've got one. I'll put a packing slip on it and it'll be there in a few days. And they sent it straight to the body shop to get the work done and got it on just in time to go out, man. I was so happy. So
That's really impressive because, like, yeah, in that level of customer service, that gains them a customer for life, you know. Because
oh, dude, I agree.
Yeah.
You know, and when the way it held up too, I mean, it was. I have the old one. The body shop let me keep the old one, and honestly, the bend in it, I think I could pay a welder to fix it. But and I would trust that thing, man. I'd trust it in a head-on collision.
Dang, yeah.
But
It's already
Sounds like
tested once, right?
yeah, right. I mean, but then I've got the LFD off-road roof rack, and that thing is amazing. It's a modular rack. You can buy the crossbars to go with your stock rack. I'm talking to you with your new Forerunner. and then you get the side rails later on down the road and you can extend it and buy more racks or buy more crossbars and all that stuff and go from there. So I love that thing too.
Right on. Yeah, I've got a Westcott Designs
Oh,
on top
yeah.
of mine, so it's probably pretty similar. Is it 80/20 up on top, or is it what's the construction of the cross members? Are they just like, what are they, steel or aluminum or?
Oh, they're steel. Yeah, I
Okay.
didn't go with aluminum. They offer aluminum, but I'm a budget kind of guy, so I'm not gonna
Says
spend
the
money where
guy
I don't
on
have to.
34s and
Well,
35s.
but the craziest thing with my 5th gen is a lot of people, when they talk about going 35s, they're like, it takes this, it takes that, it takes this. And dude, I've got stock upper control arms. I did a body mount chop. As you can see, I cut the front bumper some, and I've got the method wheels, and the methods push them. I mean, I don't have spacers, anything like that, and I don't rub at all.
I have the black method wheels. You have looks like the bronze, right?
No, God, no, they're gray.
They're gray. Okay.
They're covered. They're covered in
They're
mud.
dirty. They're dirty. Forgive me. But
no, they're that
no.
color more often than they're gray. But
Sure. Yeah, I was wondering how you would accomplish that, because yeah, I definitely need to do the body chop. How much was that effort? How much effort was that?
it cost me one grinder wheel. I
Did
got
that
up
at
under
home.
there. Yeah, so I got up underneath of it, and I picked it up on the lift at the shop and kind of figured out the best angle to cut it. I did a little bit different than most people do. I left a little bit more on the backside than most people do, and I didn't even weld a plate on it.
So That was what I was gonna ask, because everybody's putting plates on once you chop and then you put the plate. So you feel comfortable with that?
Oh yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. So I left more to the back side of it. So there is still metal on the outer side of that body mount. A lot of people cut that off, and that's why they weld that plate on there.
Okay.
But it's wide open underneath. So without the plate, it's not like anything's getting into it. It's not, other than normal Toyota frame rot, I doubt it's, I doubt it's going to have any ill effect on it personally.
You got me really curious now. I'm gonna have to look at that because I have rubbing. I have the 33s. I have Toyotex on
Okay.
there, and I have rubbing every time I turn, and my wife doesn't like the noises.
Really?
So yeah. So I think I'm gonna have to look at that. I did replace upper control arms. I'm on Bilstein 5100s, and it's kind of at the top of what it can be, but
Yeah.
I still every time I back out of the every time I back out of the driveway, it's
Yeah.
like, all right, well, maybe I need to look into the body chop. It sounds aggressive, but
Well,
go ahead,
Josh, you cut the front bumper. Is there an inner fender in there that you had to move as well?
Oh yeah, no inner fender. I
Gotcha.
took it
See,
out. I took the
that might
front
be
inner
what it
fender
is,
out.
yeah.
Yeah. The only thing behind that inner fender that people really worry about is the washer fluid reservoir.
Yeah.
And for me, I just took the fender liner out. This is my truck. This will always be my truck. I don't, anything that breaks, I'll replace it. So I just took it out.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
So
Well, that's awesome. You said the sliders were a welded kit?
yes, from 4x Innovations up in Canada.
Okay.
And it's like they send you all the pieces, and then you
Flat
weld
packed.
them together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of
And
like
then
a
you get
move
to
bumper.
choose, well, you get to choose your own angle and stuff like that on them. So mine are a little kicked up more than if I had a bought them, already assembled and stuff. And I got to get them tight to the body as I could with enough space to allow for that flex, but not so much space that my foot can like slide into it or anything.
Yeah, that's the one thing my daughter complains about, not being able to climb into the car. And, she's dramatic every morning, taking her to school, and she's,
Yeah.
the whole thing. You're just like, all right, come on. It's not that bad.
Yeah. My wife hates them because they're not steps. She liked when I had the old steps on them, but I'm like, I'm just going to rip them off first trail I go on. So they had to come off quick.
Yep. Right on. Well,
So
is there anything else we missed? What kind of winch is it?
it is a Badlands old Harbor Freight special, man.
Harbor Freight
12K.
Special.
That thing pulls, dude. It really does.
You kind of joked about being a country boy, but every country boy that I know that has one of those on something that actually does work
Oh yeah.
swears to it. I do real work with this. I use it more than
Yes.
once a year.
Oh yeah.
I tow whatever X, we pull tree stumps out. We do
Yep.
X and this and that. So,
Well,
yeah,
we do a lot of like tractor tires and stuff at my day job. And so like if the service truck and trailer gets stuck in a field somewhere, that's the truck that's coming and pulling the truck and trailer out. I've gotten calls first thing in the morning like, "Hey man,
Wow.
I'm buried in a field. You need to come get me."
that's
So,
awesome.
yeah. But
That's
I do
awesome.
have the C4 Fab ladder on the back that you can't see in the picture that I sent you. But
Very
that thing's pretty cool. And then I have a homemade box in the back with a fridge slide, a homemade fridge slide. Well, the homemade tilt on a fridge slide. So
Oh, you gotta show us pictures of that sometime, because that
yeah.
sounds awesome.
Oh, that
I've
sounds
got
nice.
I would love to have mine tilt. Right now I'm just on a base, right? And I
Yeah.
did a seat delete, so I had to
Yeah.
take out the third row because there was a third row. So that ended up putting me much lower, which is nice, but I'd
Yeah.
still love to have that tilt function. That's so nice. So I'm excited
I'll
to see what
definitely
yours looks
send it.
like.
I'll definitely send it in the Discord. for sure. And I've had a few people who've done the same thing and they've fallen in love with it. So
That's awesome. Well, yeah,
Nice.
drop
yeah,
it in the DIY channel on the Discord. We'd
yeah,
love to
for
all
sure.
see it.
I still have a bunch of stuff I have to send into that channel on the Discord. I just got to take pictures of everything.
That's the beauty of it all, is that, you know, the channel's always kind of evolving and changing, and we're adding more people into it, and they bring their own stuff. And like you said, you know, you've got tons of stuff to share, but who's got the time to upload? So just, you know, as you get a chance, drop it in there for us.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I noticed a lot of people have joined the Discord recently. That's been great. Seeing all these cool builds and stuff like that people have.
It's been my favorite thing since we started the channel, is just getting to be able to see everybody. I mean, you know, it's so cool to be able to have, you know, like our last guest that we had, Bavarian Overlander from Germany, staying up late at night every night in Germany,
Yeah.
you know, getting on the chat with us and Discording, and so
Oh,
it's
yeah.
really fun.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's got some good input too. I liked his video last time.
Yeah, he's got a lot of cool stuff and really knowledgeable.
Oh yeah.
And I'm loving the photography of Europe. I mean, call me spoiled, but getting to see all the Tuscany and all that stuff, all the Alps. Oh man, that is the beauty of the channel, right? Like if you're from somewhere else, you get to see where we're at, and when you're from somewhere else, we get to see where you're at. So that's pretty
yeah.
awesome.
Oh yeah.
You got to throw up some pics of like Allegheny Forest and you know, George Washington and all those different areas, man.
Well, so I've got a buddy of mine who we always go together because we don't ever go by ourselves. And he's the one who brings the drone and brings the cameras and all that. So I'll probably get him in the Discord this week at some point so
Yeah.
he can start sharing some pictures and things. And he does some cool DIY stuff too. So I'm definitely gonna get him involved.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, definitely do bring him on in, you know, share it with your friends, and we can get people in and see some really cool stuff.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's going to bring us to our next section of the show, which is what's your Overland Anthem? And yours was my favorite response this week because I think it's really true.
Exactly.
Too hard to pick.
It really is. It really is. I've got a shuffled mix of like 300 and something songs, from bluegrass to like death metal to, I think there's even like some Shania Twain in there and stuff, man. Like
That's awesome.
you know, some rap, you know, everything. It's just some dance music, techno, you know, industrial. Honestly, if I can bob my head to it, I'm listening to it,
That's
you
awesome.
know. So there's nothing better than listening to death metal while it's like 8 o'clock in the morning on top of a mountain and the fog hasn't lifted yet and there's nobody around you and all you can hear is just somebody screaming behind you. Like,
That's awesome. I think
Amen to that.
I was gonna say, you're definitely speaking Phil's language here right
oh
now.
yeah?
Oh yeah.
Go ahead.
100%. Man.
There we go.
100%. Yeah, I was gonna ask. You mentioned bluegrass in death metal. Have you heard of Steven Seagal? It's
yeah.
a bunch of Finnish rednecks who play bluegrass covers of metal. It's great. They're hilarious.
Well, so I saw somebody shared their cover of Thunderstruck on the Discord. And so I went and commented on it a little bit ago, actually. And I actually think that's better than the original.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. It works. It works way too well.
Yeah, it really does. So my favorite is like Richard Cheese. Have you heard of him? He does like the swing, like the swing covers and stuff,
so
man.
Good. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So, but like I said, man, anything. Yeah, you know, I'm not hard to get along with when it comes to music. As long as it's not Christmas music. I do not do Christmas music.
Not at all.
Like,
Not even metal Christmas music. Can you do some Trans-Siberian or anything? No.
Okay, so Trans-Siberian Orchestra is kind of different.
Yeah.
Like I'll listen to a few of their songs. A few of them are pretty good, but like Christmas music to me is just so overplayed.
Gotcha.
And it's like
Gotcha.
they play the same songs every
Oh my
year,
God. Ugh.
you know, for like a month and a half.
Yeah.
Like, so just don't
I'll,
roll up on me blaring jingle bells and we'll be good.
Right. There's one other, August Burns Red has a Christmas album that is very good. It's similar to the heavier Trans-Siberian stuff. I'll post it in the Discord. It's good.
Okay. Yeah, I'd love to give it an opportunity.
Right. Yeah, I have the Christmas music my wife doesn't like playlist of a bunch of stuff like that, where it's just like metal covers and stuff. And
yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, I'm always looking for something to play at the shop during Christmas.
There you go.
Because they all want to play Christmas music and I turn it off.
Oh
I'm
man.
like,
Yeah.
I would rather listen to nothing.
I'll send you some stuff.
Okay, that works for me. I'm looking forward to it.
That's awesome. Well, yeah, we definitely want you to get in there and hit up the Spotify and drop your songs into the Overland broadcast, right?
So I'll have to figure out how to use Spotify. I'll have to figure out how to use Spotify.
and that's okay if you don't. We've also got just a text area on the channel, and if you add the songs there, then I'll go ahead and put them into Spotify.
Oh, there we go.
I also don't personally use Spotify. It's not my favorite thing, but I love the fact that it gives us a community playlist. And so
I gotcha.
when I'm doing the driving and I'm out there, sometimes I'll be like, screw it, let me see what they got on the playlist, because it's cool to see other people put music on and let somebody else DJ for you.
Well, so honestly, it sounds like something that'd be really cool to use in the Jeeps, because we have iPads for the Jeeps that run Gaia for the experience and stuff like that, for them to track their trails. It'd be nice to be able to have like a Spotify Overland playlist that if they want to see other people's Overland suggestions and stuff like that, they can play the Overland Discord playlist and, you know, and kind of feel like they're in the moment with everybody else.
Absolutely.
Perfect idea.
Yeah.
Well, and one of the things that will be coming to the Discord channel soon is we'll actually be streaming our playlist through one of the broadcast channels, actually.
Oh.
So it's not set up yet, but it'll be going pretty quick here, and you can find that in the ODC Overland Anthems section.
Okay.
So if you join on there, that'll be playing our music all day long, pretty much. So super cool little plug there. As we talk about that, just want to mention, we're always looking for our regional ambassadors. So anybody who wants to become a regional ambassador can sign up through the Discord. There's a volunteer section. So if you just go in, we've got a little questionnaire to fill out. Tell us kind of what your availability is and what you're interested in helping with, and we'd love to have our volunteers help us out there.
Yeah, I do have to say, the way y'all have the Discord set up with like when I had to fill out the questionnaire and stuff for doing this, it's like, it's so straightforward and simple. And like, even somebody like me who's not tech savvy at all could figure it out and get it done. You know what I mean? So A+ on that one.
Awesome.
Thanks very much.
You.
Yeah, we absolutely want to make it as accessible to everybody. We know especially this community doesn't always have, people who are full on tech, because sometimes they're full on wheeling or full on turning wrenches. So, we want to make sure everybody can come to the party and have fun.
And like I said, I think y'all definitely are making that possible with this Discord channel. So
thanks so much. Well, let's talk next about our build picks. We're going to start with Josh's choice. Why don't you tell us about them, Josh?
Yeah, so there are a couple out of Alaska. And I got very lucky to meet them at Overland Expo East. And I mean, I literally fangirled out when I met them. And, I have my own Chinook, and I got to see Austin's build. He did an amazing job refurbishing this Chinook better, in my opinion, than it was when it was original. And they decided to go full time living in it. They saved up a bunch of money, fixed the Chinook, and left Alaska. And like I said, they made it to Expo East, and that's where I met them and got to meet them. They went out west. They made an appearance at SEMA. They made an appearance at the event in Arkansas that was right after Expo East. And now they're in Mexico. And the best part about their Instagram and stuff is them sharing. They share the good, but they share the bad. And like they've had a bunch of issues, like overheating issues and stuff that Austin tackles on his own. And, you know, he reaches out and gets help from the Overland community, people who let him use their garage to work on it and stuff like that. So I think they're on their way to Argentina is their, Alaska to Argentina is their current mission. So they're working their way down, and it's really cool getting to keep up with them. And you don't see too many 4-wheel drive Chinooks.
Yeah.
You know, so I think his is on an 81 chassis. So he kind of kept the older school look as opposed to mine's on a 91 chassis. So it's a little bit newer look to it, but definitely check them out.
That's Makoventuretravel. You can find him on Instagram. Yeah, that looks like a really cool rig, and doing the Transamerica Highway, that's super cool. They talk about what their plans are for when they get down to Panama. Have you heard, did he tell
I
you about
haven't,
that at all?
no, I haven't. Like I said, I met him at Expo East. You know, we talked a bunch about the build and about their future plans and stuff like that, but I think they kind of take it a day at a time.
That's
And,
awesome.
you know, they were talking about when they had to cross the border into Mexico, they did not want to do it on the 13th. Just something, with, you know, superstition,
I
you
like
know.
it.
I'm all
I
about
like it.
Yeah, so I think they said it only took them about 30 minutes at the border though. And, you know, they got into Mexico and all that. And now they're having their little issues in Mexico with the truck and meeting new people and all that. So, you know, I'm looking forward to keeping up with what they are going to do once they get a little further south and, you know, experience that. You know, it's way different traveling down there than it is in America, you know. So
Oh yeah.
It's a different world, even though it's just across the border.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
I was checking out their page before the show, and it sounded like they had a hole in their radiator, and a guy fixed it, welded up the radiator for like $9.80.
yeah.
And that's the spirit of Mexico. Like we used to go down there a bunch when I was a kid, and everybody wants to help you, and
Yeah.
just is there like, okay, you're having fun here, you're exploring this beautiful country of ours. What can we do to help? Like it's a family thing. It's really awesome. You see that a lot with like coverage of the Baja and everything. Like the folks down there are just awesome, and they're excited about off-road.
Oh yeah. Well,
Absolutely.
I think they had a motor mount break and it caused the fan to go into the radiator. So they ended up ratchet strapping the motor mount so that they could drive it. It was like the middle of the night. If you look on their
Oh, that's awesome.
Instagram, they have a video of them driving like on the side of a mountain in the middle of the night, just trying to get to somebody's house so they could work on the truck. So anyway, I'm glad it's them, not me, but I also enjoy watching what's going on, you know. So
That's really cool. That's really
Wow.
awesome. I mean, it's so cool to get to see these guys out there doing these trips. Especially, it's nice now that things have kind of calmed down with everything. So nice to
yeah.
be able to get back out there. Well, very cool. Mako Venture Travel. Check them out on Instagram, guys. Now we'll look at Phil's pick.
All right.
Adam.
Yes, this is Adam.
Sorry.
No, that like I was like someone's gonna recognize him. So this is Overland history. He runs a really cool XJ with a Mercedes turbo diesel swapped into it. He's local here in Prescott. So I've seen him around and stuff, and it's a really clean, really nice looking vehicle. Like it's not crazy tires or wheels or anything, but just a nice kind of OEM plus just a little bit, which is exactly my design style. And does a lot of neat exploring, neat upgrades on the rig, and then he also has a nice daily driver Fiesta ST. So no matter if you're into cars or off-road, it's a nice account to follow, and he's just real cool and lots of neat stuff off.
That's
So
awesome.
I actually know Adam. He used to be from Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's a really awesome guy. His build is amazing.
Yeah,
If you look at his hot water setup, I mean, everything he's done on that truck is amazing. So
mm-hmm.
if you get a chance, talk to him about some Porsches. He loves Porsches.
Oh no. Oh, that's a black hole. My father-in-law is obsessed with Porsches, so unfortunately, yeah, we'll talk.
Yeah. No, I do know Adam pretty well. And he's a genuine guy, and definitely check out his Instagram for sure.
Absolutely.
Sweet. All right, Jack, who did you pick?
So for me, I chose a pair called Bynd.Africa, and these guys are just super cool. If you go check them out, byndafrica.ch is the website. They're also on Instagram, as you can see here. But they have been driving from Zurich to, I think
Cape
Cape Town
Town.
is there. Yeah, there you go. Sorry. Yep. Zurich to Cape Town. So they've got these just insane, really great photos on the website and on Instagram, obviously. But they really document like their journey that they've been on, and it's just so awesome. And I didn't get the chance to talk to him, but I reached out to him and said, hey, I wanna show you guys off as our build pick of the week, my build pick of the week. And they were like, absolutely, use all the photos, do everything you want. We love sharing this with the community. So just super awesome build. The main reason why I picked them is because they're driving a Land Rover Defender 110. And I drove a Land Rover 110 in Afghanistan and just fell in love with them. And I absolutely, that's like, for me, that's going to happen at some point in time. I don't know when it's going to happen, but I need a mid 90s 110 Land Rover Defender. I know I'm going to have to come up with a lot of creativity to get it legally here and to have it, all the situation. But right hand drive, stick, it was so much fun. I loved driving that thing around. It was stiff. Suspension was not amazing, but it was an extremely capable vehicle, and I had the opportunity to drive those and then land cruisers, and the Land Cruisers were like cutting our legs off because they had bulletproof doors on them, and so driving the Defender around was just a pleasure because like the whole setup was really great, really sweet, and then you can fit so much space in there. So I had a hard time picking my favorite Land Rover Defender that was out there. Another guy that I used to follow, 4xo 4x Overland, he had a bunch of really cool stuff, and I wanted to pick him, but he's not currently driving one, so I had to go with Bynd.Africa. And their photography is just amazing, though. Like, seriously, those guys, they've got it legit set up. Please check them out. They have really cool wildlife photography that they've done. This guy is a professional photographer who happens to travel. So, we get the benefit of him as an overlander because he's overlanding, but he's really a professional photographer. And the photos on their site are just gorgeous. And I mean, these are not iPhone pics, people. This is professional grade, really cool experiences. And so I've enjoyed kind of watching them as they're going around on their trip. So super cool.
Well, everybody, I just have to say, everyone needs a mid 90s Land Rover. Like it's not like it's not just you.
Absolutely.
If I ever run for president, that would be my campaign. Like,
that's the platform.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Incredibly versatile vehicle, right? You can use them as a truck. You can use them as a car, as a van, as a wagon. Like they've been running around the UK and the rest of the world. You know, we're unfortunate that we don't have a lot of them here in the US, but hopefully we can figure out some ways to get them over, because those are amazing vehicles.
All it takes is money.
Exactly. Well, and,
Lots of money.
Yeah.
and Jack, we're in Arizona. There are no actual rules. Like, we can bring in anything. We'll make it work.
Well,
Just tell them
Scott-
it's a UTV. It's fine.
Well, I mean, now that it's 2021, be 2022 next year, I mean, that opens up 1997, I think next year is when you can
Yeah.
start, importing. So I
But
guess we
there's
need to
an
put together a
issue-
GoFundMe, get Jack a Land Rover fund.
I accept.
Do it. Let's do it. Oh my gosh.
I accept.
Yes. Yes.
No, yeah, those would be awesome. Would really love to get that. But all right, let's talk about our gear reviews.
Okay.
What did we look at this week?
Okay, so this one's mine,
That's you, Josh.
right?
Yep.
That's me. So, so on the Terra Overland Jeep, we have the CVT Mount Hood Medium. They offer a small, medium, and large based on the width. The width on the medium, I believe, is 55 or 56 inches wide. So
Okay.
that Photoshop picture of that CVT tent definitely does not do this tent justice. You can see it up here on top of the Jeep right now. I am not a small guy. This thing has more room than I could possibly need. The roof, from the bed to the point, I think is also about 55 inches. So it's more than enough room for me to sit up, even kneel to get dressed if I need to. The construction on this thing is, I mean, hands down, one of the best quality materials that I've seen so far on rooftop tents. I mean, I've personally owned 3 or 4 different rooftop tents. And this one right here, the fabric on this thing is amazing. The mattress is soft. It even comes with a condensation mat under the mattress already.
Wow.
Like, yeah. And, it's got plenty of storage on the inside. It comes with the crossbars on the top to be able to carry, extra stuff on the trip with you if you need to. And just set up and break down with this thing is easy as it can be.
And so this style of tent, they have struts that push it open, right?
Yes. Yeah, you can kind of see it in the picture there. And you can see them on the side of the tent on the Jeep, the chrome part up here.
Yep.
And they are like, you undo the latches, you give it just a slight few inches of push, and it just pulls itself up. And I don't see that thing. One of my concerns about something like that, as opposed to a soft shell, was it closing in like a high wind or something like that.
Yeah.
I haven't had it in anything like that yet, but I really don't think that that's going to be a problem, because, when you close it, you grab that strap and pull down, and it takes a little bit of force to pull down on it, but it comes right on down nice and easy and tucks all in on its own and latches right shut, man. This thing is awesome.
Yeah. Like we said earlier too, you've got your solar panel mounted up on top there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's a huge value add.
Well, with the flat surface up there, because some of these hard shells, the hybrids and stuff are kind of rigid you have ridges on top. This one is nice and flat, nice smooth surface. Having the solar panel mounted to the tent itself allows for us to be able to use those crossbars for other stuff. We still don't have it. We're going to put our logo also on top of the tent, so it allows for that also.
Nice.
So just a giant wide open billboard.
Why not?
But
yeah, it looks really cool.
what is the overall length of the? We got the width. The width was 55 inches, right?
Yeah, I think it's roughly 55 inches, something like that.
Okay, and then the length.
Hold
I
on, you're gonna
imagine
make
at least 6 feet, probably 8.
Frantic
I
Googling ensues.
I know you're like making me go to my notes here while I get on Google. No, actually, I think it is. Shoot, I had all that paperwork, and now all that paperwork is put away somewhere. You didn't prep me for this question.
We're
CVT,
so cruel.
CVT mount hood, and then a medium, right?
Yeah.
All right, folks, this is what we do. We bring you answers. We come up with questions, but we also bring you answers. So I am looking specifications.
Okay, I'm on it. I've got it. Okay,
Send it.
so
Oh, he got it before me.
so so on the medium, 56-inch wide. The sleeping footprint is 82 inches by 53 inches. So that's the amount of space you have to sleep. And then dimensions when it closed up, 85 by 56 by 8.5 tall. So
Okay.
that's good size, man.
So the 56 is the overall width. So
Yeah, so you've got a couple inches of stuff.
yeah,
The frame, yeah.
the frame of it, the aluminum.
Yeah, but that's that 8 inches that they're talking about too. That's that footprint, and like you had said previously, Josh, the other style, right? The fold out, the ones
Yeah,
that
the
fold
soft
out that have
shell.
soft
Yeah.
shells. Those are insanely large profiled. I mean, something to mine I think is around a 14-inch
Yeah.
from top to bottom. It adds a lot. It really does. It adds a lot to your overall height, and then also, then you get the weight. So these are pretty lightweight. What was the weight there? The weight's 165 193.
193. Yeah. It is.
Oh,
So
okay.
it is a little bit heavier than my Smitty built. I had a Smitty built XL soft
Mhm.
shell. So it's a touch heavier than that, but I think it definitely makes up for it in that height, like you're talking about. Only
Yeah,
being
I mean,
8.5 inches tall when it's closed.
that's a huge deal. Like, I don't know what kind of the roof rack system you've got going. When I had my '08 JKU, I had these big, 2-inch DOM, big, really big
Yeah.
rack. And so I was up high. I mean, we were 8 feet up easily. And that's high, right?
Yeah. Oh
Like,
yeah.
so I mean, you've got no clearance. You can't go into any parking garages, anything at all like that. And you're on 37s. You said on the.
Yeah. I was gonna
I mean,
say,
you're
so
not
we're
going
on
into parking garages
37s,
either, but
37, 6 inches. Yeah, I mean, parking garages are off limits, but but every little bit helps,
Yeah.
right?
absolutely, absolutely.
So, but
Right on.
we got the Rhino rack on it, which is really cool because that thing just the whole rack for me to do any work to it, I just unclip the sides and that whole rack just comes off.
That's awesome.
So yeah.
Yeah, I really like what they've done with the JKs and the JLUs and all that good stuff. They've really modernized kind of the approach that they've got to it. Well, Phil, let's take a look at what you brought us.
Sure. So the Arizona Backroads and four-wheel drive trails is put together by a group called Funtreks. It's a guidebook. I've got the 3rd edition here. It has really good, really excellent trail photography, complete maps. It even has like the individual mile marker points, like turns and everything to tell you where to go. They have a couple of these for a couple different states. It's a nice kind of bound, lays flat on your hood or whatever you're looking for. I'll pull one random map up. You can see like it has a whole map, all your trail stops, and then on the other side they talk you through it, tell you about it last time they went. Really nice resource, easy thing to stick in your glove box. And if you're cruising around, have a couple hours to kill in a place with a lot of trails, it's a great resource. They also have a website that not a lot of people realize that has all these trails and more that they're always adding to. And so like if they get a trail report that, hey, this thing's got more complicated or easier or whatever, they'll have that report on there. So it's a real nice and like you see even on the cover, like they go from easy to difficult, whatever you're kind of looking for, you can find something near you. And so I picked this up when we moved to Arizona, and I've been exploring stuff, and like mine has all these like sticky notes and stuff and scribbled notes like for different ways to go approach stuff. So it's really a good guide.
Absolutely, yeah. No, I mean, it's always cool to have something that does not require the internet for when you are in a place
Exactly.
that does not have the internet.
You
Hey,
know.
paper maps, what are these?
Oh man, yeah.
Do you carry a compass too?
Right. You know, hey, I'm getting a compass. No, I don't know. I'm on the edge of millennial, but like I grew up with like the old Thomas guide, you know, when
Oh
I was
yeah.
learning to drive and everything. And like, there's something about being able to figure that out and find where you are. And like Jack said, like if you don't have internet, your phone dies, like whatever, like it works and it's good, you know. It's
Man, I always use it. I usually make a point to with the iPad, bring the iPad. I always
Mhm.
make a point to save or take a picture, like a screenshot
Yeah.
of where I'm going, like
Absolutely.
just in case I lose GPS or something like that, I can
Mhm.
hopefully, because I was a Boy Scout. I know how to, traverse terrain and tie knots.
I've
I
got
can
them
get home.
badges.
Yeah, I can get home.
There you go. Exactly.
That's
You never
awesome.
But
know.
it's always great to find a good, reliable paper map, though.
Oh yeah. Worth their weight.
Especially, that one's got tips and stuff about doing the trails themselves.
Hmm.
I've honestly never seen something like that. That's really cool.
Yeah,
I got to look into it.
it's great.
We have a really robust trail system out here, and we've got a lot of folks who enjoy being on it, and so we're really lucky with that, in that we get people who spend time writing about it and selling books.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Super, super into it. Well, this week I'm gonna be reviewing my REDARC BCDC 1225D. Yes, this is what it really looks like right now, and I very, very much considered not sharing this photo, um, because hey, it's a little embarrassing, but this is reality, folks. I'm driving it with it like this right now. Will it look like this after this weekend? No. This weekend I'm going to tidy it up and it'll look a little bit better. I'll put my clips in and I'll do my stuff. But yeah, so this is the REDARC BCDC 1225D. It is set up for doing charging from the main battery, or the main battery, right? And then it also takes solar. So it's an MPPT, and it pushes in and then charges my second battery. So I've got a primary battery and a secondary battery. It will charge both. It pushes both ways. And it also prioritizes what they call green, which means that if you are able to receive solar power, it will prioritize taking that solar power over taking from the alternator. So it's pretty cool. Keeps me topped off. I've had a little bit of fun getting it installed and getting it running. I was lucky enough to have installed it maybe a week or two in my first install prior to the Overland Expo West. And so I took my Forerunner up there and was having some issues, and I talked to the REDARC guys there, face to face with REDARC North America, and they were able to hook me up and kind of talk me through what my issue was. I had chosen to put the wrong style of fuse in between the main battery and the unit itself, but then I had also done two fuses, because here's me being a non-electrical person thinking more fuses equals more safe, and more fuses equals more problems, more potential problems.
Yeah.
So I am now fused only in the engine block and at the battery for the secondary battery. So I have one fuse inside the cab, but then the rest is outside the cab, and that's because between going from the auxiliary battery to the controller, I needed to have a filter. I needed to have a fuse. So I've been having fun with that, but I am loving it. I had bumped myself up to 200 amp hours of lithium-ion batteries in the Forerunner just to run my fridge and my my stove, and Josh is having a visual reaction here because 200 amp hours is overkill,
Yeah.
and especially with lithium ion. With lithium ion, it's overkill. And what I was having problems though previously because I was using a thermal fuse, and those thermal fuses kept tripping, and so my battery was never staying topped up. My fridge was always running everything down. So I was like, oh well, I have a bunch of lithium ion. The studio I'm in right now is an office that I built during COVID times, and it runs off of solar power. So I have a bunch of solar batteries, right? Like I have a bunch of lithium ion just laying around. So I was like, well, screw it. Let me throw a couple more in there, see what happens, and make this work. But I've now actually gone down to just having 100 amp hours in the Forerunner. It's not overkill, but it's always at 100% because it's sunny in Arizona, and it
Slightly.
just always is
A
charging.
little bit.
Just a little bit. So yeah, so it's a fun setup. Basically, once I figured out my fuse issues, it's set it and forget it. Like I've literally, I just drive down the road and I always have 100%. I installed a Victron BMS so that I could monitor my house battery and my aux battery. If you go with the Manager 30, which is like another $700, you can get that functionality as well. But I really like Victron. Victron's what my office runs off of. I have all Victron accessories, and they've been really good. They're a main competitor to REDARC, so they didn't want to talk to me about my Victron accessories, and I was like, that's fine, that's cool, bro. I respect it. You guys are competitors, but they've both been really good products, and so I can definitely recommend the REDARC 1225D. I give it 2 thumbs up, and you should check it out.
Prioritizing green power, that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I really like that because then it's not taxing the vehicle.
Yeah.
So, because doing a DC to DC, right? Like you can, especially for like a lead acid, right? I don't want to put too much through a sealed lead acid, and so being able to prioritize because I almost just put a Victron MPPT controller in and just skipped having the 2 systems linked. But the beauty of this is that it also tops up my mains battery. So if I do have a problem with my mains, it's leaching power from the other system. So it's a great solution. If you're doing MPPT in your Jeep, you might want to look at the 1225D.
Plus, so we're running Renogy stuff in the Jeeps, but I get what you're saying. But I was just thinking about it for my personal Forerunner because I do have a secondary battery set up, but all my stuff goes through I'm drawing a blank now, but all mine charges off the alternator. I don't have a solar setup yet, but I have an AGM battery as my main, and then I have a deep cycle for my secondary. And I don't know if the 20, you said you have a 2021 or a 2020 Forerunner.
This one is sealed lead acid. It's
okay. So we with the Forerunners, you actually have to do a little trick on the alternator to get it to put out enough volts to charge the AGM primary.
2016 and newer.
Yeah. So I had to do the diode trick and make it, trick my alternator, which puts out enough to charge that secondary battery without really losing too much in that process.
I have another product that can also do that for you, but the 1225D does that as well. The 1225D is a little bit overkill for that, but it would also work with the 3 different battery chemistries that we find most commonly: lithium ion, sealed lead acid, and AGMs. Yeah. So, but yeah, since 2016, people have switched over to smart alternators, which mean that they won't push out the full amount that they need, and so you find that you can't just link 2 of them together with a switch anymore like you used to be able to, or like a solenoid in between. Now you've got to actually do a little bit more work. So yeah. But
see, I find myself not needing solar as much in my personal vehicle Because usually when I'm out, I'm the next day I'm starting my truck and I'm going I don't park in one place too often. So
Yep. That's,
Very
you know,
interesting.
when you're on the road, you're on the road and you're getting out
yeah,
there, and it's, for me, initially I had my rig set up to where I had my rooftop tent on top of the 4Runner. Now I'm pulling a trailer.
yeah.
When I pull the trailer, then I can dock the tent up. I can leave the tent and I can still go run around. So it may not be necessary, but I've already bought it. I got it. It works.
Well,
It's
I
great.
do the same thing too. So I understand.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Right on. So yeah. So well, it was great talking to you, Josh.
Yeah, man.
Terra Overland. What's the website?
TerraOverland.com. Nice
There you
and
go.
simple. Yeah.
Super easy.
And then, but then my personal Instagram is actually Overland Box Fan, all one word. That's got the stuff that I personally do on my time as opposed to just the Terra Overland stuff. So I got some pretty cool
Awesome.
personal stuff I do too. So
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I want to see more pictures of the Chinook. I know you've
Yeah.
dropped a couple in the Discord. We can definitely check it out there.
yeah, man.
Awesome. Well, yep. We enjoy bringing the Overland Coffee Talks to you, getting together
Yeah.
and
I didn't
drinking
see
good
y'all's,
coffee.
but I got mine.
Oh,
I
I
actually
had already
There you go.
finished.
I didn't know how long it was gonna last, so I brought two.
Nice.
Had to work
That's
on my second
awesome.
one now.
There you go. There you go. Thank
That's
you so much,
awesome.
man.
So but yeah, I had a good time, guys.
Absolutely. Really glad to have you on the show. And next time, catch us the next time, and we'll see who we're talking to. It'll be fun.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody.